uh, a $1 back in the mid-60s was equal to the buying power of $20 today. And that is not hyperbole, that is not exaggeration. So you understand what's happened here. When people want to slam COLAs, a cost of living adjustment, which is the only checks and balances, the only accountability we have out there, okay? Stop blaming the effect of the debasement of our currency, which is happening through cost of living inflation. This is anti-progress, folks. This goes against capitalism. This goes against supply and demand principles. Austrian economics. It goes against Milton Friedman economics. It goes against Adam Smith economics. It goes against Keynesian economics at its purest form. Because in Keynesian, you can say, oh yes, just print the money and share. So yeah, that would be like the bowl of money philosophy I've come up with. So in the highest form of Keynesianism, it could work. It's like calling the bluff. It's like nullifying the whole power that money has over us, and saying, no, you're going to serve because your conscience says you're going to serve. You're doing what comes instinctively, is to not want to be a self-serving, decadent, lazy pissant and sit around all day just sponging off other people, using their goods and services that you want to be part of it. That's the point. And if you're not satisfied, you're not content. That's your conscience aching and telling you to get busy. So yes, the purest form of Keynesianism could work. And Milton Friedman, I have no problem with his teachings, because it was egalitarian. As far as I'm concerned, the best quotes from him would back that up. And the same with Adam Smith. I mean, he devoted his life to the study of these things, the facts and figures, the nuances, the very boring, tedious, monotonous stuff. But, he came up with these nuggets of truth. When he'd point out, there's no way you can refute a saying like this, that, at the end of the day, labor is every nation's greatest single asset. So the real wealth lies in people's willingness, people's willingness to serve, to go out and do those jobs, with no status, nothing, working on the highways. Okay, building the infrastructure. Think of all the construction workers doing these productive, important jobs out there, bringing you water, drilling your wells, bringing you electricity, working in the store, storing your groceries, growing your food, transporting your food, building your trinkets, building your sailboats, building your houses, all these things that we need, building your cars, all those people working in factories doing stuff for us. All of them should be held in high self-esteem. And and it can exalt anybody financially, if this is the way we exalt people for what they've done, it should be those people. Why? Because you've been trained that it should be the other way around. Exalt the highly educated. And he's got all these degrees. He's in this position of exaltation. He's a president, he's a senator, he's a congressman, or he's a super successful businessman. Whatever the case may be, because you've been trained to believe that way. You haven't been trained to believe that the one that should actually be exalted is the farm worker. Okay? The truck driver, the carpenter, the plumber, the electrician, and on and on and on. And not just those people. And my point I was trying to make was, when I think about that, I think I could offend people by saying their job's not important. But let's look at jobs that are really critical, very important now, like in the media. Okay, all these reporters and journalists, the honest ones out there, like Alex Jones, for example, on InfoWars, and Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert on the Kaiser Report. And, and there's so many of these, like Matt Drudge, for example. I mean, I could go on. There is a lot of good, honest teachers out there. And teachers are ones that get accurate information by digging. This is what they do. They go and find the truth. And they do that hard, that legwork. That's very difficult, because confronting people that you suspect are evil with real questions and really trying to find out the facts and doing it as you can, this is very dangerous. A lot of people die, so I have great regard, great respect. I have a lot of reverence, and I'm very humbled by these people, because I don't know if I have the same courage. When Joe Biggs goes in, and the other reporter, Kit Daniels, whoever it was that went with him down into Juarez, Mexico, very dangerous, looking for ISIS fighters held up down in that area, where there's a lot of beheadings over this drug war and everything down there. It just takes a lot of courage, and I admire the heck out of these people. So yes, they're doing very relevant jobs. All the people in the military are doing very important jobs. All the people in law enforcement are doing very important jobs. But these jobs are only necessary for now. We've got to understand that. Step back from this thing. Step back from this pseudo inverted reality. Understand that any jobs that pertain to the problem, albeit are necessary for now, but once the problems are gone, they won't be necessary. It's just how I am a huge supporter of the Second Amendment. Although, to be quite honest, guns don't do much for me. They don't interest me that much. They don't fascinate me that much. I understand them as a tool, an implement. I understand them as very important, as Gandhi pointed out, as so many others have pointed out. That it's important that we maintain the right to self-defense. That we in America are a shining light example of, posse comitatus, where, you and I are the militia, where we're going to go out and defend the innocents. We don't need the army coming into town like with this Jade Helm thing, which is a very contemporary, thing that we could discuss. But I'm not going to get into it in depth now. I know Alex Jones on the InfoWars and has gotten into quite great depth with this subject, and a lot of very other interesting, pertinent subjects like GMO foods and all this. All this stuff comes down to money. All these things are part of the problem. So all these educators and bringers of information, these journalists and reporters, all these people out there, the media, that give us true, accurate media, that aren't beholden to their sponsors, that these are just basically their propagandists. The mainstream media is sold out. They're establishmentarians. So, no, I don't have any respect and regard if they're liars and they're just cowards and saying what they need to say because they live in fear of losing their job and their financial security. So, yes, while I understand that kind of fear, I don't have any regard. They shouldn't be doing those jobs. They should find another job, work in a factory or something, where it doesn't matter that you just teach the truth. But, yes, so understand that all these jobs where I say, well, they're non-productive jobs, but they're very productive. What is law enforcement? Their production is protection of the public at large, right? The highway patrol. I absolutely love the highway patrol. Just their presence on the highway, okay, is a deterrent to people getting crazy, to just being drunk and foolish out there. And so I do believe that these people have pure intent. I'm not at all cynical about the job the highway patrol does. And so it's important that we have these protectors and these defenders of the innocent public. So that's their product that they're producing, the product of the military, okay? All the different branches of military out there. So, even the politicians and the judges and the attorneys, all these people are important. I mean, aren't you glad there's an attorney? If you've got Monsanto suing you, aren't you glad that you could, possibly, have the money or raise the money to get some highfalutin, prominent attorney out there to represent you in defense of Monsanto? Yes, I'm very glad. So all these jobs, I don't want to be misunderstood in my videos. And it's very important that I convey this information to everybody because I'm on everybody's side. That's it. I am determined. That is the person I want to be. And, that's what's most important to me. At that, that I sleep at night, I can look myself in the mirror and say, yes, I get it, God. I want to be a friend to man. And that doesn't mean some men. That means all men. And I don't want to take anything from anybody. All I'm going to do, if a guy like me, if a guy like Jesus, because that's all I'm getting what I learned from, was running your life, was running this world, you don't have a thing to worry about. That's it, man. That's it. Freedom. You're beholden only to conscience, and you're the only one that has to answer for that. Yes, a man shouldn't eat unless he works, but that's between you and your conscience. Who gave you that conscience? I mean, who gave you everything you have? Who gave you your five senses? How do you know to distinguish what's beautiful from what's not? How do you know these things? How do you know what beautiful music? Who gave you the appreciation, the instinct? Who gave you these? These are all gifts from above. We're created in His image and likeness. Let's use our imagination. It's a great gift from God. Who gave us our sense of smell? Who gave us to smell a rose? Who gave us our sense of taste, to taste something wonderful? Who gave us our sense of touch and sensuality? Who gave us these things? Who gave us our instinct to want to procreate and made that feel so beautiful? Who gave us the command to go forth and be fruitful and multiply? He made it so beautiful to follow His commands. So doing what He did, and to have God's law and to be the rule of the day on this planet is going to be good news for everybody if you're in your right mind. And that's your choice. It's your choice to come out of Babylon, like it's written. Come out of confusion. Right means right. This is ethics. This is like mathematics. These are truths. These are laws. These are immutable laws. These are principles that can't be muted. They can't be. There's no two right mathematical answers. And right is right and wrong is wrong. And the truth is within all of us. It's simply asking. It's asking for wisdom. Like King Solomon, like it's written. He went to God directly by himself, like Jesus has instructed us to do. We go in our closets, we go directly to the Most High God that loves us, that owns us more than anybody ever could. Immeasurably more. Okay? This is where the whole you must hate your kids and your wife and all this stuff, whoever, compared to the love that God has, because God is the one that taught you to love, to value love, all these things. These are all gifts from above. So at the end of the day, understand where all good things come from. And then you will honor and glorify the only right source, and you will get accurate information, accurate knowledge, accurate wisdom. And you can come out. You can be saved. Anybody can. This is where the whole thing, in fact, this is where the message what Jesus brought to us came from. He said, you know what? I didn't come to save the righteous. You're already saved. You're already on God's side. You've chosen to be on the right side. You've distinguished the spirit of the air from the Holy Spirit of truth of God, which is always there, which was